They were already green. They're going to be greener. Hydro-Quebec has big plans to become as energy efficient as possible. Earlier this week, they released their plan to help Quebec reach its goal of being carbon neutral by 2050. Here with more is Mathieu Johnson, Vice President, Strategy, Corporate Evolution, and Development at Hydro-Quebec. Mathieu, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
So you've got a new strategic plan for the next 5 years, 2022 to 2026, for an efficient energy transition. So how do you provide more energy as demands keep going up and up and up, and how do you stay green? What's the plan?
What's the plan? So basically, in a nutshell, is to make a better use of the energy that we currently use. So this is really energy efficiency. But when we think about what we need to achieve in 2050 in order to be carbon neutral, we have some big challenges, and we're going to need more electricity to electrify the other sector of the economy that are currently using fossil fuel. So we're going to need more electricity. So this is basically the plan, having more electricity and using it in a better way.
And how does that look? You know, how, does that look like because we have hydro, right? Hydro is the first word of Hydro-Quebec, and it's one of our strengths, right? It's one of our resources. But to get to that 2050 plan, what does the future of Hydro-Quebec developments look like? Is it more wind and solar than anything else?
I would say it's many things. First of all, when we think about using better, using in a more efficient way the electricity that we have is, for example, energy efficiency. So it's a lot of technologies that we can use right now to have the same comfort in your home with less energy. So that provides room for other customers to use our green hydroelectricity. Next, if we want to have more generation facilities, there are other options right now that are cost effective, like wind energy. So the future of the generation that we're going to add will use those new energies. So it will not be only hydro, it will be also wind energy. And the last thing is that we have a tremendous asset with our hydroelectricity. So our hydro plants right now, we can upgrade them in order to generate more capacity and more power with the same infrastructure because the technologies are being more efficient. So we're going to capitalize on that as well in order to generate more electricity with our existing assets as well.
And as I look at what where we're headed in the future, and obviously we're trying to electrify transport. Everyone's getting an electric car, especially with gas prices, that kind of thing. Then I see cryptocurrency, which is enormously energy intensive, and there's a lot of people knocking cryptocurrency because of that. But say, hey, Hydro-Quebec, we got clean green energy here. So how can we handle peak demand? What do we have to do? Because we hear it now, right? In the coldest mornings in this province during December, January, February, please reduce your consumption. What's the plan for the peak as more and more people electrify their lives?
Yes, definitely. And this is very central in our strategy. We want to involve more the consumer, and we want the consumer to be a little bit more active in the way they consume their energy. And because, when everybody take their shower in the morning, this is the peak demand that you've been referring to. And this is when the energy costs the most. And this is when we need to reduce the overall consumption. So if everybody in the province is able to maybe reduce their consumption just a little bit, it can be possible, like delaying the dishwasher or delaying the washing machine for a few hours, then on a massive scale, it makes a tremendous impact on our grid and on the cost of electricity. And that can be achieved by changing our habits, but it can be also done with the help of the new technologies that have algorithms and that can interact with our grid. So when the two technologies, our electric grid and technologies that we have in our home, that if they can speak together to say, hey, you know what, just reduce by 2 degrees the temperature in the house. So because we have a peak that is coming, this is seamless for the customer. and it provides the same comfort. So by tapping on the new technologies, this will help us to go through the peak demands as well in the future.
We're with Mathieu Johnson, VP at Hydro-Quebec. But Mathieu, this leads me to the question, well, how much is this going to cost me, right? Everything is going up in price, and now, hydro rates are fixed to inflation, and inflation is sky high. And now you're talking about these new initiatives, new projects for more capacity, and these other tech ideas as well. How much will it cost people who got to pay their hydro bill every month?
Well, it's our intention is to go through the energy transition as in the more optimal way. So that meaning we work very intensively in order to keep the cost very low for the customers. Normally, when we do energy efficiency, it means that we use less energy. So it should be beneficial for the customers because normally the bills could be lower. However, we need to keep in mind that the energy transition, it has a cost. And to be carbon neutral in 2050 has a cost as well. So we need to face the fact that we have some great ambition in Quebec to do this energy transition. But adding new assets, adding new technologies, at the end of the day, we need to pay for it. But our role at Hydro-Quebec is to make sure that these costs are the cheapest as possible and that it's a slow and steady transition so that there is no large impact on tariffs.
Mathieu, do you have an electric car?
I do, yes.
Okay, you're walking the walk then. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, we need to walk the talk, huh? So yes, I do have an electric car, and I do lower the temperature at my home when we are in the peak hours.
Hey, look at that. Two things we have in common. Mathieu Johnson is Vice President of Strategy, Corporate Evolution, and Development at Hydro-Quebec. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.